Salutations, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. V back with another casted game of Age of Empires 3 and a chance to showcase a fellow YouTuber, Harrison AOE, in the north of the map playing in the color blue as the Germans, who I think just made his triumphal return to YouTube only a couple of weeks ago, a fantastic caster of the British variety, and actually a really strong player, it must be said. I thought he was hovering closer to the 1600 ELO range, but he's actually in the upper 17, in maybe even 1800 ELO range. So very, very skilled, plays a lot of German, plays some Dutch, he plays China, and I think he even plays a little Malta as well. So he plays two of my favorite civs. And so I'm really, really happy to be showcasing him here. And looks like he's going to go with the market start, which is, of course, the standard German opening. And let's take a look at his opponent in the south of the map, playing in the color red as the French. We have Agilos? Agilos? I'm going to go with Agilos. I'm probably wrong, but I will remind you, getting things wrong is kind of my thing. And early trading post for France, which is going to make those 3D CDBs, 3D CDBs. This game is in 3D, so they are technically 3D CDBs, okay? I was not wrong there, but that shipment is going to be coming in very soon, and Harrison's shipment still not in. Oh, we got a treasure contention here, 100 XP. Speaking of shipments, that is going to be huge. It's not going to make up for the lack of a trade post, and he is going to lose this explorer to the scout and to relax that name. But I mean, his explorer did end up really close to the town center, and I mean, 100 XP, that is such a good treasure. Sending the 2 settler wagons. The one thing I'm a little bit concerned of, and I have to go to his fog of war here. Oh, wow. Okay. So we're going to be seeing a severe lack of scouting on Harrison's part. I mean, look at how much of this map is not going to be seen at all. Now, since he's playing French, he can probably kind of guess what's going to be coming. But because of, Germany only having that one explorer and losing it so early, that could play into Ag's favor. And, I mean, other than that, really, really standard openings for both players. This is a traditional Nilla matchup, so you're not going to be seeing anything crazy here, or at least DE crazy. But let's take a look at that deck one more time for, ooh, Harrison. I just told the people that we're not going to be seeing anything crazy. And here you go, producing this deck. So we're going to be seeing MERC play from Harrison. He's got the 2 big ones, the Black Riders, the Jaegers. He's got the Pandors, which are such a good unit. They are the anti-skirm. He's got the Bosniaks, and he's got the British Arquebusiers, which I hardly ever see. And he also has the Irish Brigs, which I absolutely despise. Get them out of your deck. They are such a terrible mercenary. I mean, I've seen them hold H2 pressure a couple times, but I just think they're really bad. I've never liked them. But let's take a look at Ag's deck. He is almost up to the second age, did get a market in transition. Hunting dogs now being researched. And yeah, much more standard French deck here. He does have the Ancien Régime, but I don't think we're going to be seeing any Royal Musketeer aggression. I think we're just probably going to be seeing maybe like a 10 Musk, 5 Cav, semi-FF. That really is the play you see from French most often. And I think I would argue, and most people would argue, that France is the stronger civ just based on pure mechanics. And so as long as Ag plays a clean game here and sees the deck that's coming, I mean, Harrison's deck is such a clear tell of what he's going for, right? There's no way you look at this and not think mercenaries. He's got Palatine settlements, for Pete's sake. So if he doesn't see what's coming, that's going to be all on Ag. But he's opening with the barracks. Meanwhile, Harrison is quite a bit behind getting into the second age. Going to be getting there about 4 minutes 30 with the quartermaster. He's going to have a shipment ready to go. Inevitably, it's going to be 3 settler wagons. Like, I've never seen a German player veer from those first 2 shipments. I've never seen anything other than 2 settler, 3 settler wagon. If you've seen somebody go different as Germany, let me know in the comments below. Oh, there's something else I noticed here. Because his settler was down, Harrison did not get a trading post in transition. Now, I don't know if he was attempting to or if he had even planned to, but that's going to be so rough for him. He's not going to be able to get a lot of these shipments that are necessary for mercenary builds to work, right? He's not going to have Palatine settlements right away. He's not going to be able to send things like Silversmith and Cigar Roller, which are going to increase his coin income. Meanwhile, Ag just continuing to get treasures. 90 coin there getting picked up by him, and very well kited, I might add. Meanwhile, looks like 700 wood is coming in. 5 musketeers making their way across the map at the 5-minute 30 mark. Pretty darn good, though. 5 musks they're not nearly as scary as 5 husks, right? I feel like if you're going to push with musks, I would almost wait until you have 10. That way you can kind of just like one-shot villagers if they don't have great coats. But maybe he just wants that really early bell time in the TC. I don't know. I always think a cav start is better. But I guess if you're playing against Germany, who's going to get those free Uhlans, maybe musket is the way to go. Ag getting steel traps and placer mines actually pretty late here. Usually you see France get those in transition. Maybe he was saving up for something else. Uhlan's coming into raid, but I don't think Harrison's going to be finding anything. And, the French villagers are just going to try to fight off those Uhlans, but they do not have great coats. And we do see 2 TPs, both on the opposite corners. I don't know if he's trying to just keep those from Harrison, but the first mercenaries have come out, and they are the Krabats, which, oh my god, talk about mercenaries you don't see very often. These guys are 150 coin. They're ranged cavalry. They're pretty good against most units. But man, they are expensive. And this is really actually kind of strange. When I've seen German MERC builds, I almost always see it solely in Age 3, right? You see German FF style, and then the Mercs start coming out. But making Mercs in Age 2, he's got the tavern down, Karl's Kniep? Oh man, there's no way that was right. But these Krabats, they're going to harass this trading post. I mean, they've only got 10 siege attacks, so not going to be much of a risk there. And I mean, these 5 muskets, yeah, they're not a perfect counter to the Krabats, but in mass, they are going to trade much better. Oh my god, look at that. Plus 30 for killing one of those guys. And these guys are 150 coin. Meanwhile, a musket, only 100 resources, and most of that is food. So in small numbers, these Krabats are not even going to be able to trade with the muskets well. And Harrison, he's already starting to run low on his first coin. And man, I don't know about this build. I'm going to be honest. It feels a little bit janky, but maybe he's got something in the bag for me. Maybe he's going to pull out something crazy. Meanwhile, Aguilos sending, really standard stuff. 4 CDBs, 700 wood, 700 coin. This could not be more bland saltine cracker France that we are seeing right here. But, I mean, it's popular for a reason, and that's because it is very good. 1 villager going down to the Musketeers. And, Cannoneers coming out now from Harrison. Now, these are going to be what he needs. These 2 Cannoneers will actually probably be able to ward off this entire group of muskets. And Harrison now getting up to Age 3. He has sent Palatine settlements, so he's at 130 population, even though he's only put up a few houses. Getting great coats now, which is smart because he's got a lot of villagers, especially those valuable settler wagons who are now venturing out to the less defendable coin mines. And the Hungarian Plains, which is the map we're on, it's a really interesting map in the fact that it is so open. I mean, look at all of this extra space. But most of the resources are jammed up on the eastern and western sides with this really kind of wasteland of a middle. You've got a couple of herds, a couple of coin mines, but otherwise, nothing super big. So we do tend to see a lot of the gathering and a lot of the fighting happening on the flanks. But a bit of a score lead here for Ag. Now both guys are in the 3rd age. And I almost wonder what would have happened if Harrison had just skipped the Krabats and the Cannoneers and just relied on Minutemen and just gone straight to Age 3. I almost wonder if that would have been stronger. Granted, he probably would have had more of his vills built up in the TC, but those Krabats just didn't really accomplish much. And I don't think they accomplished anything that Uhlans couldn't have already accomplished. So just a quick speculation there, but now we see Ag running out of his first coin mine. The mines on this map are copper, so they do run out very, very quickly, but now he's in Age 3 with the Dragoons that are going to pop out perfectly on these unupgraded Uhlans, and that's going to be a great catch. Well, not really a catch, more of a luck thing by Ag, but he's going to utilize it well. And look at this, sending mercenaries of his own. We got MERC on MERC, starting with the 10 Hessian Jaegers, which I don't think, no, there's no way Harrison could have saw those. So we'll see what he does in response. He is making arquebusiers, which actually are going to not do super well, but he's making Jaegers of his own. And the thing to remember is that Germany always gets extra mercs. So getting into a merc war with Germany, it's not always the most advisable thing to do because you will always be outnumbered. And look at that, France even getting down a second TC as well. And Harrison's on 25 Vils, meanwhile 28 CDBs for Ag. So Harrison's really going to have to make something happen here. The Otis is on him to do some sort of lasting damage because right now things are really looking to be in Ag's favor, but those Hessians get a really nice shot on the Dragoons. And that was a really nice trade for him. And these little trades, MERC on MERC, the smallest of trades are going to matter. You really want to make the most of these units. And it looks like these two cannoneers might get picked off. No, one is going to stay and get with the Jaegers. Oh, look at this. Ag sees the coin mine. We could be seeing an outstanding villager right here. Ladies and gentlemen, this could be game-breaking for Harrison. 1 Vil going down, 2 Vils, 3 Vils, 4 Vils. And we're going to be seeing at least a 5th, maybe a 6th. These Jaegers are devastating. Oh, the villager massacre. Oh, it just makes you want to vomit. And just like that, Harrison down to 20 villagers against the 30 CDBs of Ag. And what a great use of the line of sight from that TP. I was wondering why he ventured so far for that second trading post, but it is paid off in massive dividends. And now with the composition of goons and Jaegers, this is looking to be very heavily in France's favor. And now, I mean, if they needed a good fight before, now Harrison desperately needs an engagement that will turn heavily in his favor. He cannot get an even trade here. He needs to take a decisive win. He's killing quite a few goons, but the Jaegers are still doing damage in the back, and the numbers are on Ag's sides. But now the arquebusiers are getting involved. They're using that hand attack, and they are making a lot of these Jaegers move around. And I want to take a look. Yeah, okay, so we do see a slight stat advantage for the German Jaegers. So just in a straight fight, these guys will win. Ag is running really low on food, actually. His macro is not quite as balanced. He has way more coin than he has food at the moment, so his dragoon production is going to be halted, but I don't think dragoons are what he's going to want to keep investing in. He's now sent 2 falconets, which is going to be a great call against the Jaegers, but against Germany, which can be such a cav-heavy civ, artillery can be a little bit risky. And now we see, oh, okay, Harrison's Explorer looks like he was revived, and he did see the 2 falconets. So good on Harrison. He does now know that artillery are in the field, and he's sending the 9 Black Riders, which are honestly going to be the perfect counter. But another villager raid. These settler wagons do have great coats, so I don't know if any of them will actually go down. They're incredibly tanky. Oh, no, you gotta move those settler wagons, Harrison. No, don't stand them fighting. These guys are irreplaceable. 1 settler wagon is going to go down. He's going to try to use this Habsburg trading post, but it looks like Ag is going to pull back. He doesn't want to commit too hard. More arquebusiers and the Black Riders are now on the map. Those Black Riders will insta-kill those falconets if they can get a clean volley on them. But now 24 Vils for Harrison and 33 CDBs, also with 2 town centers for Ag. And I don't know, man. Harrison's build is just, that Vil raid just kind of put it all in a bit of a dire strait. And these settler wagons are trying to maneuver to get on this coin mine, and they're actually eating up some of the fire of these dragoons, which, seeing as how tanky they are, I don't know if he did this intentional, but now these settler wagons, they're going to punch down a falconet. And this is actually going to go really well for Harrison. These settler wagons are pretty much impervious to the Dragoon fire. And look at that, that's gonna be a clean sweep. And I saw the 3 curs, which must have been a shipment from Ag. Yeah, they came in as well. And they just got insta-killed by the Black Riders. They weren't even given a chance to do any damage to the remaining Jaegers. And yes, these Jaegers are now down to 5, but they have gotten so much work done and they have driven Ag from this coin mine. And now Harrison can continue to gather gold and continue to make this Merc build work. Oh, there's so many exposed vills out here. This is so risky. I'm like sweating right now. Harrison, I mean, he's not going to be able to get outposts down, right? He's got 23 vills on coin and only 3 vills on food. So, I mean, there isn't going to be any defensive infrastructure, right? It's going to be mercs or nothing. The way he has built this deck, there really is no alternate path if this build does not work. And look at that, more vills, 3 vills going down to the Cur raids. And I almost wonder if Egg's just going to win this game off the back of the superior economy. And now what do we see from Harrison? The British Harquebusiers are coming in. And we see a very mobile German army now, which is actually more cavalry-based than before. And let's take a look. What does Ag still have in his deck? Okay, he sent most of the big shipments. He does have an upgrade card. He does have a Cav Combat. He does have 1,000 coin. And he's still got these curs, which are just doing so much damage in the back of Harrison's base. But now Harrison is assaulting the secondary town center. And I mean, 16 siege attack on the Black Riders, but 34 on the Arquebusiers, and the reinforcements will probably be on their way soon. Yes, they'll be arriving any minute. More Arquebusiers on the way. And I almost wonder, are these guys just like beefed up hackapellets? I actually have never really seen these guys on the field in big numbers. Now the Cur's going to try to get involved, but these British Arquebusiers plus the Black Riders, they're going to do so well, and they're doing such a nice job targeting the Curs, going around. But look at that, the snare by the French explorer. And I can't really tell whose trade this is better for. And they are just desperately clawing at each other for control of the coin mines. More British Arquebusiers going on, and now I almost wonder, is pulling those CDBs to take out the settler wagons, is that a good idea, or would they be better served over here in the main fight? One settler wagon is going to go down, and being a villager of Harrison's is a dangerous job. Oh my God, he's lost so many villagers. He's back down to 22, and all 20 of them are on, well, he's got 20 on coin, 1 on wood, 1 idle. Oh my gosh, the Vill graph at the end of this game is going to be dastardly. But at the same time, I mean, he's killed the French army once again. Egg has sent a lot of his most powerful shipments. We're now going to be seeing some counter raiding, and wow, these Arquebusiers, they are so good against villagers. Do they have some sort of bonus? No, they just have that really strong hand attack. That short-ranged attack is just going to be a mincemeat for French villagers. And they have 34 siege attack on top of that? So, I mean, this town center will go down, and there's 13 CDBs in here. Ag now down to 27 CDBs of his own. Spies now coming out. That is the right response. They do very well against mercenaries. They have a × 5 hand attack against mercenaries. No. Sorry. I was wrong. They have a 20 times bonus damage against heroes and mercenaries. That's insane. And now Pandor's coming out for Harrison, along with some more British Arquebusiers. So I do have to say, the progression of his mercenaries has been pretty excellent, right? I mean, he's been sending them at the right times. He sent Hessen Jaegers first, which dealt with the Jaegers of Ag. Then he sent the Black Riders, which dealt with the Falks and the Cures. And now he sent the British Arquebusiers, which kind of dealt with the villagers and all the dragoons. And now he's sending the Pandors, which are going to counter these skirmishers absolutely perfectly, and they'll do really well against the spies as well. So, I mean, the order in which he has sent things, even though he hasn't done the greatest job at protecting his villagers, it has been pretty good. Continuing to make British Arquebusiers, and I don't think he's ever going to go into normal units. I think at this point it's all or nothing. I mean, he sent Palatine settlements, and he has sent improved mercenaries, which, how much is that upgrade? It's Wow, 15%. That's insane. And now we're going to be seeing the 11 Pandors. Ooh, they got to kill these spies really quickly. They cannot allow them to get into hand range. Now the spies are dead, which, I mean, spies are 100 coin apiece. They're not cheap. And you have some CDBs kind of soaking up some fire here, but these skirms, they cannot engage. And ooh, nice job by Harrison. Really good kiting here. And he is going to take out these spies without too much trouble. Going to lose 1 Pandor, maybe 2. But I mean, that trade is still going to be pretty good. That was what, 4 spies at 110 coin apiece to kill 2 Pandors? And now, oh my god, so many villagers. What is Egg doing? He's getting so many of these villagers involved in combat, and he's going to lose every single one. And Egg is he's throwing the game here. He's down to 13 villagers. And he's continuing to make spies. What an absolute throw by France. He was in such a good position. And now he's making a mill. I mean, to be fair, he is pretty low on hunt, but I mean, there are hunts in the middle here that he could be going for. Okay, now we got some idle German villagers. Oh man, this is crazy. This is crazy. At first, I thought Ag was going to win this in like 14 to 16 minutes. And then I thought Harrison might come back. And then I thought Ag was going to win again. And I mean, then the loss of those villagers was just disgusting. And there's still 9 Pandors on the map. More spies coming out. This is such a heavy coin investment. I mean, they are the right thing to make against these mercenaries, but they're really hard to get a clean engagement on. But, I mean, now that I say that, they are taking care of the Pandors. They killed some of the Arquebusiers, and these guys are fast. They have 6.25 speed. They're just a bit slower than the Arquebusiers. And they're definitely faster than the Pandors. And the Pandors, they're going to get cleaned up here. The problem is that once the Mercs are dealt with, these guys really don't do anything versus villagers. And they're a bit squishy. But he does have the skirmishers to do some regular damage. It's just amazing how many weird units we've seen and how few standard units we've been seeing in this game. More Arquebusiers coming in, more spies running around. It's just spies and mercs, man. Spies and mercs, and now the Bosniaks are out, which, will they do better against spies? I feel like they'll do worse because they'll have to get into hand combat. But, I mean, Bosniaks do have a really, really nasty hand attack, and they do have a lot of HP. And, I mean, against the skirmishers, they're going to be perfect. And look at that, they're pulling back. There's only 3 spies to defend. And now Egg is making pikemen, which are going to do nothing against these Bosniaks. Age 2 unupgraded pikemen. That is just, oh my god, that's fodder, man. That is 80 resource fodder that is being produced now. And the mill and Egg is just, what has he got? He's got nothing. He's got 15 vills. No wonder he can't get anything out. And he just spent, what, like 1,500 coin on spies? I mean, what do you even send here? Do you I mean, 8 Expo does nothing. 3 Hus does nothing. Do you send Ancien Regime? Do you send, I guess 600 coin? Yeah, that's the best thing I can think of. Oh, man. And I mean, Harrison's going to win this game, but at the same time, did Harrison win the game or did Ag lose the game? That's the question. And now Harrison, who is finally out of coin, going to be producing what looks to be crossbowmen and war wagons. And honestly, at this point, he can produce pretty much anything, and he's going to be in the lead with his 23 villager economy at the 23-minute mark. That is a villager for every minute of this game. It makes me want to puke. But it's an entertaining game to be sure. I mean, come on. What more can you ask for? You get the mercs, you get the spies, you get the disgusting fights, you get the beautiful Vil raid in the north of the map, you get the counter raid because CDB thought they could beat actual units. Oh, man. Veteran crossbowmen coming in, which I think that's actually a good investment because crossbowmen are going to be what he can make for the rest of this game. And so having the veterancy upgrade on them is going to be useful. And what does Ag got? Ag's just hiding in his base, man. He's got some spies and he's got some pikemen. And that is a composition I never thought I would say out loud. But there it is. He's still got the second TC. I guess we can chalk that in his favor. I mean, he never lost that. The problem is, can he get out enough food to double produce and make units at the same time? And I think the answer is a definitive no. At the same time, I mean, Harrison has been doing a lot of transitioning as well, though he still has useful shipments. I think that's going to be what is probably the decider, is that Harrison can send 6 war wagons. He can send the horrible, but also useful, at this point, 11 Irish brigs. He has 700 coins, 700 wood, 8 expo. Meanwhile, Ag just really has nothing left to send because that mid-game, he was totally relying on his shipments, right? And Harrison was mainly relying on his mercs. And we're kind of seeing the fruits of that really start to show up here. And we're going to see an engagement, but this is going to be a beautiful engagement for Harrison. These spies will do precisely nothing against veteran crossbows, and the pikes will do even less. Again, these are unupgraded Age 2 pikes. They have no cards on them. I don't even think France can upgrade. Can they upgrade their archaic soldiers? Let me know in the comments below. Can France send an upgrade for their archaic soldiers? I'm sure they can. I'm sure there's some infantry combat that applies to crossbows, but it's not like Malta where you can just stack and make crossbows and pikes absolutely disgusting. And the Bosniaks are still alive, and I think that this is the big thing at the end of the day, right? If you're Ag, how do you kill Bosniaks, right? You're an Age 3, you're never going to have coin for dragoons, and you're just going to make pikes that get killed. Though he does have the spies, they are in stealth. This might be his one answer. But I mean, now that the crossbows and the 8 skirms are in, once the spies make themselves known, they're just going to get insta-killed. And he even has the war wagons. Even if he loses all these Bosniaks, I mean, Harrison still wins the game. Villagers going down here. He got back up to 20-something vills, and he's going to be back down to sub-20. Spies are taking on war wagons, which is not what they want to be doing. Bosniaks versus pikes. Look at that. Look at them make mincemeat of their counter unit. Spies are going to get in there and do good damage, but I mean, Bosniaks, they have 728 HP. Even with the spies attack, they just die before they even get much use. And I think that is going to be the game. Ag does resign, and the questionable Merc build from Harrison will win the day. I've got some doubts on this build. I think the Age 2 Mercs, I don't know if I love it. I don't know if the Krabots and the Cannoneers really did anything. Though I think in Age 3, I think Harrison was playing a much tighter, much better game. I thought his shipments were really good. I thought his micro was good. I thought his maneuvering around the spies was really good. And then, of course, getting those counter raids was absolutely crucial. If France still had like 35 CDBs, he would have already won this game. But the fact that he was able to kill so many CDBs, partly because of his mercs, but also partly because Ag just kind of threw him into the teeth of Germany. Really, really fun game. And let's take a look at more detail. I gotta check out these Vil graphs. Guys, follow me to the post game. All right, guys, here we are in the post game. We're gonna skip all this crap, all right? Resources, blah, military, blah, 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 blah. Let's go straight to the timeline, and let's pull up the villager population. Oh, this Mount Everest-looking graph. All right, let's look at Harrison first. Okay, so he gets as high as 35 vills at one point. He's actually in the villager lead. And then that raid at the coin mine takes away 7 villagers worth. He gets back up to the 30s, loses some more, loses another one here, 31 down to 26. And then he stays pretty even, actually. He starts building again. So actually, it was Ag who had the worst mid-game in terms of villager loss, because yeah, he gets up to 38, but then he goes down to 32 here, gets up to 36 here, goes to 26 here. That's a third of his economy, gets up to 29, and then from 19 minutes to 20 minutes, he goes from 29 CDB to 14. And then it was just all downhill from there. There was no recovering. 14 CDBs versus 27 German villagers in a German Merc build. No way. No way. And just the fact that Harrison had so many shipments left to send, whereas, I mean, what was Ag gonna send? Like cav combat when he has no cav on the map. But a really, really, really fun game, really chaotic game. I have not had one of those in a while. And guys, If you haven't checked out Harrison on YouTube yet, he is an incredible caster, puts out a lot more videos than I do, so kudos to him. I'm going to link his channel in the description below. Please go check it out. But until next time, guys, have a great day. Have a great life. See you later.